Hello, welcome to my channel. First KTRT review of the year coming up for you. But before I get into that, I'd like to say thank you for the recent influx of subscribers. I can only assume that I've been getting them as a result of my top 10 bots of 2017 video. People have watched that and pressed the subscribe button. So if you're one of those people and you're now watching this video, thank you for joining my channel. I do hope that you will continue to watch any future uploads that I do because my viewing figures on my regular sort of run-of-the-mill videos are pretty paltry, to be honest. I would like more views on videos such as this. Yeah, my top 10 bots of 2017 videos doing rather well. Yeah, so thank you for any new subscribers that have joined. Anyway, hopefully this video won't be too long because the toy I've got to show you today, there isn't a lot to it, to be honest. Yeah. Now, those who follow my channel for a while now know that I like collecting these transforming robot toys from Korea, or as I refer to them, KTRTs, Korean Transforming Robot Toys. Now, I got into the line in, I think it's about 2015, when I was on YouTube and I was watching some episodes of a show called Hello Carbot. And I watched the first couple of episodes, and then I got to about episode 7 or 8, and then I saw a new character that got introduced called Starex Dandy. And as soon as I saw him, I just loved the character of Starex Dandy, and I loved him so much I went and bought the toy. And then the rest, as they say, is history. I really liked the toy. I then started buying more toys from the line, watching the show, and then through that I got into collecting Korean toys in general. And then I started watching other Korean shows like Tobots and Biclons, Turning Mech Card, Robot Trains, and stuff like that. And then I decided to collect the toys from them. So as these years have been going on, I've been getting more and more of them. And last year, well, I had a rule of thumb where I'd be collecting buying at least 2 KTRT bots a month. And then it's the staple of my channel. I like to buy these toys in and review them for the people in the West, because these toys they're pretty much exclusive to Korea. It's very difficult to to buy them outside of Korea. You can get them off Amazon and off eBay, but they can be kind of pricey, especially the big combiners. So I buy them, I review them, and you make your mind up whether you want to go ahead and buy into them. And that's basically what I'm up to. But anyway, talking Hello Carbots, here's Grandeur. Now, this is the part of the reason why I got into the Hello Carbots line in the first place. Guys like this. Now, he's a big bot, and I like doing this size comparison. And there he is next to Leader Class Combiner Wars Megatron. He's a very big bot. He's loaded with click, decently articulated. He's got all the basic articulation joints. He's got hips, knees, elbows, shoulders. He's got a ball jointed head. Hasn't got any bicep swivels, but he does have thigh swivels. Obviously the feet, there's no ankle rockers or anything like that. So they're short on what I've referred to intermediate articulation, like waist joints and thigh swivels, bicep swivels, ankle tilts, that sort of thing. But they have the basics there. Very good toy, fun transformations, and the best thing I like about them is they transform into proper scale models of real-world vehicles. This guy transforms into a 1/23rd scale Hyundai Grandeur, which is a big, modern, saloon car, and it's a virtually flawless interpretation of that vehicle. Very realistic alt mode, and that's what I liked about this line. Now, they continued with the real-world licensed vehicles up until about season 2. Then they started bringing in made-up, futuristic-looking fictitious vehicles. And for the start off, they were kind of all right. But then they also have this thing for combiners as well. They're mad for combiners. Every single season of Hello Carbots has had 1 or 2, large combiners in it, and they've continued that through to the current series, season 5. Anyway, so I was buying bots, and I've got pretty much all the figures from season 1, most of the figures from season 2, but then from season 3 onwards, I started seeing things that I didn't particularly like and I didn't want to buy into, mostly like the combiners, and they went mad for the combiners like K-Cops and Mighty Guard and stuff like that. But then on season 4 we got Super Patron, and I got him because now Koreans do this thing that they refer to as copolymer combiners, which is basically their idea of a combiner is you get a bunch of vehicles which don't have robot modes of their own. They then combine together to form a giant robot, kind of like Super Sentai, I suppose. Whereas in Transformers, we're more used to, you know, the limb bots for a combiner, you know, like say Devastator, Superion, Menasor, that sort. The individual limbs are bots in themselves. They're smaller robots and they have individual vehicle modes, and they themselves combine together to form the Gestalt or the giant robot. That is how I prefer mining robots to be. But the Koreans do things slightly differently. Anyway, as the seasons go on, I mean, like every year, Sonokong, which is the company that do Hello Carbots, they bring out a brand new series, and then you get a brand new bunch of toys. But I've noticed that every single year, the toys get more and more exotic, more and more kiddified. You know, they're simplifying the toys for young children rather than making something that will appeal to both adult collectors like myself and young kids. So this sort of thing, like robots with working legs, are a thing of the past. Now, season 5, they've really gone overboard. I mean, seasons 1 to 4, the series run out to 1 to 26 episodes. Season 5, the current series, is currently up to episode 44 and still going. So they've just extended it and they just keep going with it. And every couple of episodes they bring out some new toy, and it's usually got some combiner gimmick. I mean, they've you know in RID last year they did the crash combiners with those two bots. You bash them together and they spring open to form a bigger robot. Well, basically Sonokong have pinched the crash combiner idea and made it their own. They did a whole string of like little mini crash combiner things, and now they've got these other robots with big ugly coupler joints on them, which you bash together and then they form bigger robots. And all the bots they make now have fictitious vehicle modes, which if they have a car mode at all, they're doing like beast bots. They're doing like things that have like robotic animals and stuff like that, and it's just not to my taste. You know, I've just gone off them. Anyway, there's a couple of figures that have come out in season 5 that I love the look of the character in the show, but I've been reluctant to buy the toy when I've been watching Korean reviews of it, and I've seen how it transforms, and I think, no, I don't want that because it's too simplified. But I've finally come to the realisation that I want to buy 1 or 2 of these toys that they're doing now, just to show to you people what I'm on about. And for that, I have gone ahead and I've bought this guy. Now this is a season 5 bot. This is Beat Run, Hello Carbot Beat Run. Now, I've seen the character on the show. He first debuted in, let me just check. He first debuted in episode 15, and then his next appearance was like, I think in episode 18. Anyway, the first couple of episodes he appears in, he is hilariously funny. He is a brilliant character. He's very agile. He does I can't even pronounce it because I don't think you know, he does all this rapping and stuff like that, and he's absolutely hilariously funny. And he's got these 2 guns which peg onto the top of his car mode, and he's like flipping them around like a gunslinger, and he's absolutely brilliant. Now, looking at the car mode, as you see, it's not a realistic looking vehicle at all. It's a totally fictitious made up vehicle. It's kind of like if a buggy, if a customizer got hold of a buggy, this would be the result. You know, it's got like these really sort of aggressive looking lights on the front. It's got these sort of skirts, which on the show are supposed to be all silver, but they've got a bit of red picked out here. It's got exposed, you know, coil suspension there. It's got like a very very sleek looking cockpit with like cage bars around it and window nets on the side. It's got side pods. It's got these rear fenders or wings with flame decals on. It's got a rear spoiler with flames on. It's got a big engine on the back. It's got large wheels with big, sort of chunky sort of off-road tyres and big 5-spoke alloy wheels. And on the back, he's got some lights and some massive great exhausts. And it's a very chunky, heavy, like typical Carbots. It picks together very solidly in car mode. It's a big, chunky vehicle. Brilliant. Great looking, very unusual looking car, but kind of cool looking car at the same time. And obviously he's got these guns, he's got these little 5mm pegging ports in the back of the car mode, so you can peg the weapon in. You can, get like Megatron's little minigun, and it's a 5mm peg, so you can peg other 5mm weapons in it, but there's a bit of a clearance issue to the spoiler at the back. So there's that. Now, this is the thing about... Now, this guy is kind of equivalent to the big single bots that they was doing in the original series, like the big single bots. Not a combiner, he's a single standalone bot. He's a character in himself, nothing to do with combiners. Now in Season 2, they did this as well with a bunch of characters. There was 3 characters. I can't pronounce it properly. It's like Samchanka or the 3 Musketeers. There was these 3 bots, Rook, Knight and Pawn. And they were 3 cars that were like brothers that transformed. And they all had a 1-step transformation. Now, I haven't bought any of those. I would like to get 2 of them, because one of them, Rook, is like the most hideously ugly thing you've ever seen, both in bot and robot mode. So I didn't go for him. But the other 2, Knight and Pawn, they do look kind of cool on the show. But I've been reluctant to buy them because they're basically just glorified 1-step changes, and they're asking like 45, 50, 60 quid for them. And I refuse to pay that for a 1-step changer. If you want to get a 1-step changer, I've currently got the world's biggest 1-step changer, Chomp and Stomp Grimlock, and I only paid 20 quid for him. So, yeah. So, transforming this guy. But, keeping it in mind, in Season 2, they were doing these 1-step changer things, right? This is a Season 5 bot. Let's take the guns off, right? Transformation. You basically get these, hang on, unplug them, and then you do that. Right, and then you just get the heel spurs, pull the heel spurs down, and that's your transformation. That's it. So to transform it back, put legs together, fold them up, and then you just go like that, and then plug in the arms, and there you go. So see what I mean? It's a quick change, 1-step transformation. Yes, it's fun to do, but this engineering comes at a price. Now, bear in mind, this guy who's got a proper transformation, he's got legs that work. Right? This guy, quick change transformation gimmick, legs are absolutely rigid, solid, they do not move. He has got articulation up top, his head is fixed, does not move, shoulder goes all the way around, he's got elbow that goes to 90 degrees, arm that goes out to there. And that's all he's got. That's it. That's all the articulation this thing has got. Don't get me wrong, I mean, he looks amazing in robot mode, right? All those colours from the car mode and a few extras are now transferred. He's got, paint apps down here, silver and red and yellow, more silver and yellow. He's got the arms, he's got detailed panels on his arms. All the flames are now at the top of his torso, across his shoulders. He's got a really interesting head sculpt. He has got light piping, but it doesn't work particularly well. But he's quite skinny from the side. He's very skinny. And in the show, he's very supple. He just moves around all over the place and bends a lot at the waist, a la, you know, ab crunch. But this guy, no. Now, this is part of the reason why I am disappointed with the direction they're taking in Hello Carbots with their figures. So that the big single bots, this is what they're doing to them. They're just turning them into glorified gimmick toys. This is not what I want. I mean, he's a great looking figure, but I mean, I look at this guy and I think, well, if they'd have made a little bit more effort, if they'd have I mean, you could quite easily have put bicep swivels in there, right? They could have made the head so you like pulled it up and it released a mushroom peg or a ball joint so that you can then have some movement on the head. Yes, he has got some engineering in his hips for the quick change transformation, but they could have put down here, they could have had, you know, a hinge joint there, so you would have had legs that move forwards and backwards. It looks like he had working knees, but they've locked them solid. They just squared them off and locked them solid, but I bet if that was rounded off, you would have a working knee on this guy. And with a little bit extra effort, they could quite easily have give this guy the basics of articulation, you know, hips, knees. Well, he's got elbows and shoulders, but they could have given him some articulation in his lower torso. But they didn't, because they just, you know, it's just all this rubbish, you know. It's all that. It's all about that quick change transformation. Now, obviously, I think Hello Carbot's there dumbing them down for a younger demographic. I think they're making their toys appeal to younger children, which I can understand, because at the end of the day, they're toys. The younger children, as they grow up, will probably be more keen to stay with the line longer, if that's a thing, you know, a bit more brand loyalty until they grow out of, you know, robot toys and move on to other things. Maybe that's their tactic, I don't know. But I'm disappointed. I mean, I'm an adult collector. I buy these things because, you know, I like a bit of posability. But this guy hasn't. I mean, when you can see size comparison, they're the same size. And obviously, next to Megatron, he's a leader class bot, but he doesn't move. He doesn't bloody move. And that was the problem with them bots from Season 2. They just had no... They look great, and they've got a decent amount of articulation up top, but they've got nothing on the legs. Nothing at all. And they've done another guy called Megabold, who's a big sort of like truck, who transforms with a big orange truck, and he's got a huge like revolving cannon in the middle of his chest. He looks pretty cool, but again, built around a transformation gimmick. You just fold his arms out and he just turns into a robot. And yeah, so that's part of why I've gone off the Hello Carbot line, because they're making stuff like this and it doesn't appeal to me at all. But I've still gone ahead and bought this guy, and I paid just over 50 quid for this. I mean, he looks amazing, don't get me wrong. It looks fantastic, and it's solidly built. It's typical Hello Carbot's build quality. But I just wish they would make a little bit more effort on the engineering department to free up these legs. I don't mind them having a quick change gimmick, but you could still have put a little bit of articulation in the legs so that you can then get it into some worthwhile poses. And as it is, it doesn't. Obviously, he does hold his guns. So show this quickly. So yeah, he can hold his guns. But you know, if he had a bicep swivel, you know, he could cross his guns across his chest, but he can't. They don't move. So it's kind of disappointed. I'll put some links down below to the 2 main episodes which this character goes in, and you ought to go and watch them, because he is a really funny character to watch. And that's part of the reason why I went and bought this toy, because he's such a cool character. But apart from that, it's why Sonokong? Why do you do this? Come on, you know, you can do better than this. I know you can. And I'm also going to get one of these ridiculous crash combiner things as well. I'm going to try and get hold of one of those and review that as well, to give you an example of the other side of why, you know, Hello Carbots is going off the rails as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, that's been my review of this guy, Hello Carbot's Beat Run. He's a cool looking bot. He's a cool looking character from the show, but unfortunately his toy is a bit of a letdown, especially if you're an adult collector, because doesn't do a lot. You know, it doesn't do a lot. Anyway, I have got another KTRT bot that's come from another line, which is significantly more impressive than that, and it has got, you know, a decent amount of articulation. So I will hopefully be getting that video done for next week. I've been TFR Wilderness. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you're one of my new subscribers, then no, keep on watching, and I will keep doing videos for you. Okay, that's been me. Goodbye.